back, and this is how they feel. In the realm of creative musings, we've all questioned why those proudly brandishing the love aici badge, the self-proclaimed maestros of affection, yes, the notorious narcissists, somehow metamorphose into architects of agony for those they purport to cherish. It's not a mere emotional waltz, rather, it's a labyrinthine dance through the intricate corridors of their psyche. So buckle up, for this odyssey is poised to traverse unforeseen twists. Let's now unravel the enigma cloaked in the pleasure paradox. For a narcissist, the idea of inflicting pain on those they don't genuinely care about oddly isn't their concept of a delightful escapade. But wait, don't even entertain the thought of navigating away just yet. This isn't your run-of-the-mill psychological scrutiny. It's a profound exploration into the mysterious realm of narcissistic dynamics. Brace yourself. It's set to be a demanding expedition. Envision the intricate tapestry of emotions as the narcissistic relationship unfurls. Picture the initial enchantment giving way to simmering frustration as the narcissist grapples with their inability to fully possess the qualities they so admired in you. The love they once showered upon you transforms into a convoluted web of envy and anger. It's not merely a shift in preference or taste. It's the stark realization that they yearn for something beyond their reach, akin to an artist longing to recreate a masterpiece without comprehending the nuances of the brush strokes. In this intricate emotional ballet, the narcissist's discontent becomes palpable. They may express their frustration subtly, casting a shadow over an atmosphere that once thrived on admiration and appreciation, now tainted by an undercurrent of resentment. The very traits that initially drew them to you transform into a source of conflict, a bitter reminder of their perceived inadequacies. As you navigate this emotional labyrinth, it's crucial to recognize that the narcissist's struggle is not with you but with their own limitations. Understanding this dynamic can empower you to maintain your authenticity while extending empathy for the narcissist's internal turmoil. In doing so, you may uncover a path toward healing and self-discovery, unraveling the intricate web woven by the narcissist's desires and frustrations. Persuading others to align with our interests or dedicate time, attention, and favors is not a universally achievable feat. The challenges faced by narcissists, particularly those lacking productivity, intelligence, or financial resources, underscore the limitations of their manipulative tactics. Their reliance on individuals with shattered self-worth underscores the importance of recognizing that the quality of relationships should take precedence over coercing others into serving our needs. For narcissists facing financial constraints, their strategic focus revolves around identifying and exploiting individuals grappling with significant personal trauma. These overlooked vulnerabilities serve as strategic entry points for manipulation. On the other hand, affluent narcissists enjoying multiple residences, lucrative careers, and diverse income streams attract attention through extravagant displays like opulent gifts, high-end outings, and gourmet dining. This not only broadens their sphere of influence, but also draws in those with personal issues and a gold-digger mindset who willingly engage with them. In both scenarios, whether constrained by financial means or basking in affluence, the common thread lies in understanding relationship dynamics and the potential ramifications of associating with narcissistic individuals. Prioritizing the recognition of warning signs and nurturing authentic connections based on mutual respect and support becomes essential for cultivating healthy relationships. Individuals who have experienced various degrees of trauma, even if not severe, might be enticed by the superficial charm of a narcissist, complete with lavish gifts and compliments. This allure is particularly evident among those with a gold-digger mentality, viewing the narcissist as a means to elevate their social status and well-being. In the intricate dance of relationships, individuals often find themselves ensnared in the mesmerizing allure of a narcissist's facade, despite the potential toll on their emotional well-being. This captivating illusion, akin to a spellbinding performance, can sustain individuals' engagement with the narcissist, creating a prolonged and entangled connection. Curiously, it's not just those grappling with severe challenges who succumb to the narcissist's charm. Even individuals with abundant resources tend to sidestep visibly damaged types, holding firm in their belief that they deserve better. The narcissist, a cunning orchestrator, strategically targets individuals with a specific blend of status and personal trauma. Exploiting their vulnerabilities, the narcissist weaves a tapestry of charm, promises, and intermittent mistreatment, creating a web that ensnares their unsuspecting prey. Yet, the narcissist confronts a stark realization. Charm alone cannot ensure unwavering loyalty. Regardless of the wealth or social standing of the person involved, the veil of illusion eventually begins to lift. Others, observers of this intricate dance, start to see through the narcissist's facade. The once powerful leverage begins to slip away, and the narcissist, faced with life's challenges, be it job loss, familial loss, emotional turmoil, divorce, estrangement, property loss, or illness, loses the ability to wield their charm and manipulative tactics effectively. Their appeal wanes, and their hold weakens in the face of life's relentless currents. In moments of vulnerability, when narcissists find themselves unable to uphold their usual facade of charm and confidence, they are forced to confront the harsh reality of lacking genuine connections. Despite having a few individuals offering support, the narcissists quickly grasp that people are reluctant to engage with them on a goodwill basis. Their attempts at positive interactions are met with resistance, as others keenly sense the absence of authenticity and depth in the relationship. The avoidance of association with narcissists becomes a widespread practice, driven by a collective recognition of a deficiency in shared humane traits. This creates a significant barrier to goodwill, a natural obstruction in dealing with a narcissist, as others feel they are not interacting with a sincere, genuine human being. In these moments of revelation, the teachings of the Bible emerge with particular significance. The Scriptures emphasize the importance of genuine connections, humility, and selflessness. As individuals grapple with the repercussions of narcissistic behavior, they may find solace and guidance in these biblical principles. It becomes evident that a life centered around self-promotion and manipulating others contradicts the values that foster meaningful and enduring connections. Understanding and implementing these principles serve as a transformative step in breaking the cycle of narcissism and cultivating a more fulfilling and authentic life. Through reflection on biblical insights, individuals navigating relationships with narcissists can deepen their understanding of the roots and consequences of such behavior. The Bible not only provides a moral compass, but also serves as a roadmap for personal growth and healthy interpersonal dynamics. Amid the perplexities and vexations stirred by encounters with narcissistic individuals, seeking solace and guidance in biblical wisdom emerges as a source of strength, resilience, and a pathway to forging authentic, profound connections. As individuals navigate the labyrinth of narcissistic behavior, a pervasive inclination to steer clear of such personalities becomes apparent. This revelation is not exclusive to those subjected to narcissistic influence. Even the narcissists themselves grapple with the understanding that genuine connections cannot be acquired through manipulation or coercion. Confronted by the limitations of their narcissistic traits in shaping and dominating others, They find themselves thrust into a shadowy realm of isolation, where the repercussions of their actions cast a haunting light. The realization dawns that their self-centered tactics might render them alone, devoid of the support they may desperately need. Despite the unwelcome prospect of such solitary existence, catalyzing change in a narcissist or guiding them toward wiser decisions remains an arduous task. If this exploration into the intricacies of narcissistic behavior has piqued your interest, there's an opportunity to delve even deeper into its complexities and its profound impact on relationships. Your support is invaluable. Engage with the content, like the video, subscribe for future updates, and consider becoming a channel member for exclusive perks. A mere $1 contribution holds great significance, contributing to the sustenance and expansion of this community. Your involvement is deeply appreciated as you continue to be an integral part of this ongoing conversation. Is there a divine consequence for narcissists? Can the universe or a higher power intervene to hold them accountable for their actions? If such accountability exists, why do narcissists seemingly get away with their behavior for an extended period? If there's karma awaiting them, why doesn't it manifest immediately when they hit rock bottom? It's perplexing to witness the narcissist's apparent contentment while you endure hardship and strive for progress. This raises questions about the fairness of the situation and prompts reflections on belief in a higher power, whether it be God, the universe, or a higher self. Where does this divine energy originate? And why does the narcissist seemingly thrive effortlessly? These are the questions I aim to address in the current episode. Welcome back to the Exposed Narcissist channel. In today's episode, we'll take an unconventional approach by exploring narcissism through a religious and spiritual lens. Building upon the previous episode, where I discuss 5 signs that God may be revealing someone's narcissistic traits, this installment will delve into 3 specific responses from God towards a narcissist. If this piques your interest and you're eager to learn more about these topics, please consider subscribing to contribute to the spread of information on narcissistic abuse. Also, if you haven't watched the previous episode, you can find it by clicking the I button above. 1. Abundant opportunities for change. A narcissist is generously granted time, countless opportunities, and personal space by God with the intention of facilitating transformative growth. However, the narcissist consistently fails to engage in self-reflection, accept accountability for their actions, or recognize the need for a rational change in behavior. God, respecting our free will, does not appear inclined to hastily punish or chastise. Personally, I perceive the divine as the most merciful and compassionate force. Consequently, the narcissist is presented with numerous opportunities to exercise their freedom, as shown through various avenues demanding an understanding and acknowledgement of their actions. Failure to do so will inevitably lead to consequences they can no longer evade. You, as evidence of this, are a divine gift to the narcissist, offering everything necessary for their transformation. You generously offered opportunities for personal growth, demonstrated empathy, unconditionally embraced them, extended forgiveness, and treated them with the nurturing care one reserves for their own child, overlooking their shortcomings and consistently approaching them with understanding. Yet how has the narcissist reciprocated? How have they treated you? They subjected you to mistreatment, exploiting the liberties you granted, and even weaponizing your admirable qualities against you. This equates to engaging in an ongoing struggle against the divine force, exchanging your life force for transient, materialistic gains that offer only fleeting satisfaction. They opted out of experiencing the richness of love and life, as their obstinate and unyielding disposition binds them to an endless loop. They persist in repeating the same patterns, convinced that they are ascending to new heights, soaring, or attaining divine status. In their belief, they wield authority over all circumstances, be it related to individuals, themselves, or the earth, and remarkably, God allows this cycle to persist. The universe allows narcissists to indulge in delusions because the more intoxicated they become, the more painful the eventual fall will be when they crash face first. This is precisely what happens when a narcissist hits rock bottom. Their retribution unfolds as their world is upended and reality confronts them head-on. This doesn't imply that God is malevolent, as he generously provides them with ample opportunities. The narcissist, in their self-destructive path, inflicts this retribution upon themselves when they reach the nadir. Their punishment lies in the realization that their entire source of validation has been exhausted as they age. This is their self-imposed penalty. A fundamental principle in scriptures is that God detests arrogance. If he allows individuals to prosper, grow, or flourish in any way, it is ultimately to their own detriment, as the more they expand, the more agonizing it becomes when they contract. The second consequence from God for narcissists involves the removal of all their sources of sustenance. An example of this could be a narcissistic parent severing all connections with the children they once thought they controlled and owned. Similarly, when these children come of age and recognize the narcissistic traits in their parent, they sever all ties, leaving the narcissist devoid of support and vitality. God dismantles their entire existence, stripping away their strength and every claimed power. I witnessed this with my paternal grandfather, a staunch narcissist who believed himself to be godlike. He once walked with immense arrogance, reveling in the fear he instilled in family members and others. Now isolated, he is reduced to a mere collection of deteriorating bones that accumulate daily. His understanding of harmony is lacking, and his children despise him, as they too exhibit narcissistic tendencies. He often reminisces, saying, "I used to be this, I used to be that." Living in that delusional fantasy, he thought he would remain eternally youthful and dominant. However, reality caught up with him, courtesy of God, leading to his prolonged existence, a consequence of his own suffering rather than a bestowed reward. Thirdly, God allows narcissists to dwell in an unaltered state of dissatisfaction and unhappiness, driven by their unwavering belief that nothing is ever sufficient. Their insatiable desire for more remains unquenched, akin to a vessel with a perpetual leak at its base. They lack gratitude and fail to express appreciation, not only for their accomplishments, acquired possessions, wealth, or relationships, but for everything, including themselves. Regardless of their achievements, there is a perpetual sense of inadequacy. Even the slightest perception of something missing triggers a traumatic response. While many individuals may experience such feelings, they have the ability to recognize and acknowledge them, understanding their inclination toward perfectionism that requires improvement. The case is markedly different with a narcissist. They consistently project this sense of perpetual deficiency onto others, including you if you provide what they deem lacking. They demand changes in your appearance, insist on more efforts for them, and dictate specific behaviors and speech, all driven by their relentless pursuit of an elusive sense of completeness. Moreover, despite your earnest efforts, the goalpost continues to shift incessantly. The narcissist remains oblivious to their own remorse and insecurities, further entangling themselves in a detrimental cycle rooted in their unacknowledged deficiencies. In response, God allows them to persist in this alternative state of discontentment. Paradoxically, a life steeped in discontentment obstructs the attainment of inner peace and the understanding of true joy. Though they may seem content with their myriad possessions, their pleasure remains fleeting, akin to a temporary high. Their relentless pursuit of novelty robs them of stability and the authentic experience of being genuinely loved and cared for. Despite your demonstrations of affection and concern, they never reciprocate, lacking the capacity to receive such expressions. Their misfortune is profound, for love, with its elevated frequency and vibration, holds the utmost significance. It surpasses material wealth in evoking a sense of fulfillment. Devoid of this fulfillment, they are deprived of encountering divine mercy and personal growth. Trapped in a stagnant vibrational frequency, their consciousness remains perpetually stunted. They fail to mature, comprehend the unity in diversity, or recognize the divine presence around them. While these concepts may be more advanced, they are crucial for spiritual development. Their existence mirrors that of a parasite, engaged in an eternal race and relentless pursuit of the same coveted object, a condition more dire than that of an animal. Ensnared in a predatory state, they find themselves incapable of extricating from its clutches, an expression of divine wrath. At times, God unveils them, exposing their true nature and subjecting them to disgrace. Despite their claim of exceptional intelligence, narcissists master the art of concealment. Yet, when God decides to unveil them, every detail becomes transparent, revealing the narcissist's intricate web of deceit and falsehood, reduced to ash. Stripped of every facet of narcissism, they implode, left exposed and helpless, with no retreat or resources to pursue. The struggle and suffering intensify, for being alone with oneself is the ultimate punishment for a narcissist, unable to tolerate their own presence. Ultimately, this fate befalls every narcissist. Notably, I've observed that each narcissist I know has been abandoned, a consequence of their own deeds, particularly in their treatment of offspring and loved ones. No one desires the company of a perpetually critical and grumpy senior who belittles and plays the martyr while receiving assistance. Consequently, they find themselves isolated, left alone with their own misery, which only serves to fuel their anger and exacerbate their narcissistic tendencies. Even in the afterlife, they find no solace for their spirit, residing in the lowest realm, if one believes in such realms. Alternatively, if one believes in regeneration, they may undergo transformation into another form, as they never merit the human experience. Their afterlife, if it exists, is one of torment, a consequence of their actions. In essence, narcissists lead perpetually miserable lives, devoid of joyful endings. Eventually, they confront the repercussions, unable to avoid the suffering that ensues from their own karma. This is not divine cruelty, but a confrontation with the consequences of their actions, a perpetual cycle they are doomed to face. As we approach the conclusion of this episode, I'm curious to hear what you believe God does to narcissists. Share your observations and experiences in the comments section below, enlightening others. These are the final thoughts for this episode. If you found it informative or valuable, please express your thoughts in the comments. We'll continue the conversation in the next one. Until then, stay connected and let the healing process begin. Narcissists target individuals who are vulnerable, sympathetic, and likely to provide material or emotional resources, utilizing this approach to elevate their own status. They aim for the best available option when selecting partners, seeking those who are wealthy, attractive, talented, or high status. Once in a relationship, they swiftly test the limits of what is achievable, creating a tug-of-war dynamic that inflicts immediate pain, with the pressure to break increasingly significant boundaries intensifying over time. The easiest targets are those who stay with the narcissist due to deriving their self-worth from the relationship, feeling trapped otherwise. Individuals who have been deceived and gaslighted, possibly starting with a narcissistic parent, are particularly susceptible to this dynamic. I want to express my gratitude for your attention to this presentation. If you're new here, your mission is to uncover the deepest secrets of narcissism. Your future assistance is highly valued, and I want you to be aware of that before we delve into the content. It's important to note that outward manifestations of narcissism aren't always negative and may be linked to disruptions in brain chemistry or physical injury. However, narcissistic fury can manifest across a broad spectrum, ranging from overt acts of violence, such as physical assault, to covert actions like simmering resentment. Narcissists may experience depression if they don't receive the excessive attention they desire. When unable to attain their desires, they may resort to confrontational or passive-aggressive behavior, finding it disheartening as it disrupts their positive self-image. This raises questions about their apparent concern for their appearance. Now, let's delve into the impact of a narcissistic injury on a narcissist. How do they respond, and to what extent do they agree or disagree? Exploring the reasons behind their reactions becomes crucial. Despite their perceived flaws, why does this affect them? People can endure various forms of narcissistic wounds, offering multiple options at each turn. I'll specifically address the most severe narcissistic injury and the potential reactions it may evoke. Wounded ego serves as a synonym for narcissistic wounds, denoting damage to the narcissist's pride and self-importance, especially when their false self is under attack. The intensity of the wound influences the narcissist's response, but regardless of its depth, their behavior remains consistent. For brevity, let's swiftly examine the typical reaction of a narcissist to an injury to their sense of self-importance. When their ego is under threat, narcissists grapple with feelings of guilt and frustration. This emotional turmoil propels the narcissist toward a vengeful mindset. Forgiveness is beyond their capacity, regardless of the severity of the perceived offense. The narcissist neither seeks nor provides an explanation. What matters is their plotting for revenge and contemplating ways to cause harm. Smear campaigns, whether conducted privately or publicly, rank among their preferred methods of retaliation. A narcissist may exhibit cruelty initially and then abruptly shift their behavior. I'm not even alluding to the ongoing smear campaigns. Rather, a narcissist, when wounded in other ways, might escalate to more severe actions. This stems from the profound embarrassment they experience when their self-image crumbles, forcing them to confront the truth about themselves. Various factors can drive a narcissist to extremes, causing their inner wounds to rupture. As detailed in the video, isolation, public humiliation, and personal insults profoundly impact narcissists. Individuals possessing all three abilities simultaneously pose a significant threat to narcissists. Following the narcissistic injury, the individual may adopt one of two responses: avoidance, driven by fear, or a fixation on causing harm. In the latter case, encountering the tormentor can bring relief to the victims, as it compels the narcissist to acknowledge their dislike for the person and abandon pretenses. In extreme cases, the narcissist might prefer the individual dead rather than dealing with them, leading to broader consequences than just for the victim. The narcissist's subsequent actions hinge on the intensity of their anger or depression. If fear dominates, they may feel trapped and hopeless. Even if they recognize their mistakes and seek help, success is improbable for narcissists. In cases of overwhelming hatred, they might attempt extreme measures like placing a curse, hiring a hitman, or resorting to other drastic actions. If confident of avoiding detection, a narcissist would manipulate anyone into any task. Following mistreatment by another narcissist, an individual's darker tendencies may surface. While they might attempt to garner sympathy by portraying themselves as victims, this tactic only serves to divert attention from their true motives. Professionals, on the other hand, can pinpoint the origin of their anger and assess the severity of their issue, providing a first-hand account. Narcissists undergo a spectrum of negative emotions when confronted with injury. Typical feelings include fear, fury, resentment, and shame, intensifying their depressive state. Multiple slights or rejections can cause a narcissist to crumble, and the scars of narcissistic harm, akin to any ego wound, linger permanently. The constant barrage of criticism makes the individual unpleasant to be around. Persistent frustration may lead a narcissist to resort to violence or experience a mental breakdown. Narcissists exhibit reluctance to heal from past wounds and progress in life. Refusing self-acceptance or acknowledging shortcomings makes it increasingly challenging for them to modify their behavior as they age. When someone's pride is wounded, granting them permission to contemplate their own life might be beneficial. I trust you found value in this video. Share a situation where you made someone feel bad about themselves and observe their reaction. I look forward to your return. Your presence is always appreciated. Feel free to use this space for questions or feedback. To stay updated on our new videos, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications by clicking the bell icon in the description. Thank you for taking the time to watch.